Hey Glampers, Mike from Those Who Glamp Together. For 2.5 years, we've been pulling our Tandera fifth wheel with the polarized Superlight. Now it's time to do something a little bit different, and we're going to use the Anderson Ultimate Hitch. This is the Gen 3 version, and I'm excited to try it. All right, before I get to install, I've already taken off my polarized Superlight. How this came about is when we went to buy this hitch, I really wanted to buy this hitch, the Anderson hitch. But this one was on sale. I really hadn't even heard of polarized other than the sliding hitch. So I tried it, and both Joni and I fell in love with it. It's an amazing hitch. 20,000 pounds, no chucking. It's just a very nice hitch. But Anderson sent us this hitch. It's the Gen 3, and they want our honest review on it because they knew that we had this other hitch. So we have a way of comparing them. So that's what I'm about to do right now. We're going to install this hitch, and we're going to check it out for the next several months and see how it pulls our camper. All right, so the first thing I see right off the bat, or I feel right off the bat, is this is a lot lighter. It's 15 pounds lighter than the other one. This one weighs in at 35 pounds. The other one weighs in at 50 pounds. We still have 2 fasteners back here to tighten and one on top. So this is your drawdown bolt. So down inside here, you have a tube that goes over the ball in your bed. You got a pin that you'll insert to capture that ball. Then you just draw it down. You tighten it down to 60 foot-pounds, and then you tighten this down. So once you draw it down, you tighten this so it can't move. So that's what secures it to the bed. It's a much bigger footprint than our last one, so there's a difference right there. So we're gonna go ahead and install, and we're gonna see how easy it goes. I like the handles. Back. Hit that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to lower this some more so I can get that pin in. Oh, I went too far. For that pin to go through, it has to be completely off of this. And I can't get this back tightened into it. It's kind of the same situation we had before because the ball sits down. I need a taller ball. Either that or I need to go and get a longer bolt. That might be able to be smarter. I can get this, go to a hardware store and get this longer.
Does that got to be a certain grade?
I'm going to get the highest grade I can get. I want it to be like a grade 8. All it needs is another inch. That's what happened with the other one, with that one.
Well, you had to get a different screw.
The drawdown bolt was too short after I got it on because the ball is so flat, flush to this.
To the floor.
So,
Well, the bolt is cheaper than the ball.
yeah, much.
Later that same evening.
Okay, so now that we've got the bolt situation taken care of, I can tighten that bolt down. The 2 bolts in the back. The beauty is all 3 of these bolts is the same torque. They torque at 60 foot-pounds. So what you want to do when you get in your bed, you want to make sure you are straight and just use your grooves in your bed to verify you're straight. And then we're just going to torque the drawdown bolt first. That's going to tighten it to the floor. Then the 2 bolts in the back will torque after that. Like I said, we're going to take this to 60 pounds. All right, that's 60 on top. Then we'll do 60 on back. I'm going to tighten them down by hand first because I took them way out so that this base can move up and down on that ball. So we'll get them as hand tight as we can. It's really simple, guys. It's not that tough of a deal. There you go, that's all there is to it. It's in there tight. Now we do have adjustability with the ball. I can pull this pin out and then I can raise it higher or lower if I need it. There's 3 holes on the side. So right now we're going with the middle. I want to be able to just adjust if I need to. We're going to put the truck on it here in a bit. Sorry about that noise, it's very windy. And when you live in a barn dominium, the steel siding catches air like that. It's kind of weird. All right, so that's all for just the install of the base. Now we're going to go and install the coupler attachments. So let's get over to the hitch and do that. Okay, so this is our current setup where we have the attachment here, which is a ball that dropped into the coupler of our old one. Well, they just kind of switched. The ball's on the other base. Now we get a cup that attaches to the kingpin, and basically that is all there is to it. We got to take these bolts out. There are some set screws here that torque down to 40 foot-pounds, and once they're torqued down, that's all she wrote. Now, one of the negatives, one thing I didn't want was this wire hanging off. It's this wire here. That's how you lock it. A lot of people just take it and they like put it back here or something and bolt it on. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But yeah, this will just sit up there so you can put it forward if you want to move your truck backwards 6 inches, or you can put it on this way if you want to move your camper closer 6 inches. So you can put it forward if you want to move your camper backwards 6 inches so you don't hit your cap on your truck, or you can turn it this way if you want to pull your camper closer. So if you got a 7-foot bed, no problem. We got a 6.5-foot bed. So I'm going to get this old one off and get this new one on. Just taking off both of these nuts on this these bolts here. Got the top on it here and maybe try to get that off. And there you have it. It pops off right just like that. Now we got to do the same thing just for the other part. Okay, so I'm putting them in opposite direction because that's the way they were done from the factory. And these will torque at 40 foot-pounds. But I don't think I torqued these first. I have to torque these first. I will double check the book. Now the key to this is also, just like my last one, making sure this thing is straight with the kingpin. So I don't want it to be crooked or anything like that. Okay, now I'm going to double check the book and make sure what I got to tighten first. But I believe it's those 2 bolts. And I believe they're 40 foot-pounds. Okay, so I almost made a mistake. I want this to go forward because I want to push my camper further back. I don't want it to be back and pull my camper forward. I don't want to hit my cab. That looks straight. Okay, according to the book, these bolts here only get tightened to where these washers are no longer loose, which I'm not a fan of that. I'd like to know what torque is. The 4 set screws get torqued at 40 pounds. So I'm going to do what it says, but I'm going to double check with the company and find out, because I only have one 15/16. These are 15/16 bolts. Now I only have one of those, so I'm using a set of pliers. Guess I'll have to put it on straight after I get these bolts tight. Okay. Now it's just a matter of finding the right size hex tool to tighten this with. I got 4 bolts. They've got to get pushed up in and torqued down to 40 foot-pounds. Okay, so now we got the bolts started. I need to get a extension, and I still don't know if I can get these front ones. But we got to torque these down in an X pattern. Yeah, just like you would do a tire. All right, so in the kit, you get a couple of little self-tapping screws. I'm just gonna put this up here, like so. Try to get this in there. All right, guys, so I'm back with an update on the Anderson hitch. Here was the issue. Here's the base that comes with it. Now this goes over the ball, over my ball. Put the pin through it right here. Drawdown bolt goes through the hitch into this, pulls it up. Well, if you can see the ball, mine is really flush to the bed. It's really low in the bed. So that 3-inch bolt that came with this would not fit. It just wouldn't fit. So here's the solution. They sent me another one of these shafts that is about 1 inch taller than the other one. I went out and bought extra bolts for this shaft. I bought it at 3.5, 4, and 4.5 because I wasn't sure how far it was missing from. The 3.5 worked. So we were fine. We traveled with it last week. If you don't want to get a longer bolt, you can just go get this longer shaft. Okay, so that was the install. Really, the cable is a problem, but I'll get to that here in a second. So I wrote down some pros and cons for both. Now, as far as towing, I don't know yet. I got to see how this tows. But just pros and cons from the actual 2 different hitches. So the Anderson, it's not going to rust. We were starting to see a little bit of rust on our pull right. It's 15 pounds lighter, and it's a 24,000 pound hitch, and it can handle over 4,000 pounds of downforce. I believe it says right here I think it says on the side how much it can handle on downforce. Okay, and this hitch can also handle 24,000 pounds, and it's a 4,500 pound tongue weight it can handle. So that's pretty good. The cons of it, it's a bigger footprint inside the truck. And on the coupler, when you set it on the ball and you lock it in, you push that pin and lock it in, there's no way to visually check that it's set. So now I have to do a lift test on the camper. Once I get it locked, I have to go back and lift the camper and see if it pops off the ball. Not a problem, but it's just another step, whereas before, well, we'll get to it. The Pull Right Pros, it's got a smaller footprint, and of course that visual check, you can look down on the cup, and on the side there's a hole. When you snap that lock and that pin goes forward, you can visually see the pin when it goes through the over top of the ball. So there's no need to do a lift check. So that's a big deal, because I like to visually see everything when I walk around. The cons as far as this goes, it is starting to rust a little. It's been 2.5 years we've been towing with it consistently, and we get out a lot. So it is starting to show a little wear and tear and rust. And then the other thing, it's only a 20,000 pound hitch, which is more than enough. I mean, like I said, we're never gonna have that big of a fifth wheel. So 20,000 pounds, it's more than enough. And we love the Pull Right Super Light. And the only reason I bought the Pull Right instead of this, because I found this Pull Right on sale when I was getting ready to buy, before we bought our fifth wheel. It was like $600. You know, we'll have to see how it pulls, and we're going to be heading out this weekend. So it's Wednesday today, so we're going to be heading out this weekend. So please subscribe to us. You're watching us, go ahead and hit that button. We appreciate it. Hit the like, and thank you for watching, and happy glamping.